wah, wah. Safari, I gotta start my Active Trader Pro. I'm gonna move that up there. Gotta get my Safari up. I gotta put on my Do Not Disturb too. Focus. Okay, and wah 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 wah. Live chat. Okay. I'm gonna start up our Active Trader Pro. Somebody was distracted yesterday. Morning, Zephin. Morning, Scott. Zephin, Microsoft is just, they were asked specifically, and you can go back to look at the time. They were asked specifically, when are you planning on starting the $30 a month for Copilot and rolling that out long? They refused to give an answer. They said, and then the CFO, for some reason, I think it was the CFO, somebody said, we don't expect revenue until late 2025, I think. Which means they ain't rolling it out anytime soon. And morning, Nevin, morning, Scott, and morning, Zephin. They basically, I mean, it's not like, here, let's look at Microsoft for a little bit. I was looking at Ulta because I may double down on my Ulta. Let's look at Microsoft. I mean, here's the reality of this situation. Microsoft is going to open up at 338, which is down in this neighborhood, right about there. So it's just taking a leg down. You will lose money like this over time because it's natural for a stock to pull back. But let's take a look at, I mean, here's the reality of this situation. Even at 338, okay, you still have confirmation above that 9-day. This is simply people taking profits. I mean, great quarter on earnings, great growth, great strategy. It's taking profits on earnings. That's all they're doing. I gotta get out of this one. That's it. So I have no interest in lowering my exposure to Microsoft, in getting out of Microsoft, in doing anything with Microsoft, other than when it pulls back, let's get more. I mean, it's going to be 338. The last entry was 340. Get more. I mean, you're going to have that MACD. The strike line is going to cross. It's going to go down. The RSI is going to go down. Get more. Morning, Sherry. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Again, good companies with good products, with good strategies and good management, good everything. I mean, Microsoft just fits that bill. Now, here's the one thing that you have to look at with Microsoft is we'll go back and, again, use TrendSpider. Zephin, you got TrendSpider, man. Go back to 1987. September, not a great month for them. August, really good month for them. I mean, one of the tops one. But I think you're heading into a weaker period. Morning, Q-Tip. And I mean, there was nothing wrong with that quarter other than they gave guidance too soon about Copilot. I have to come up with another one of my analogies, like the old men ordering soup in a deli. I got a comment about that one yesterday. By the way, I got a couple of good videos for you guys to show up to. One is a day trading video about volume and key to finding good day trading stuff, and it's spot on. Another one is a masterclass on how to set up your portfolio. I got a question yesterday from a listener. Hey, I've got some money and it's in Vanguard, and my financial advisor told me to get into Dividend Aristocrats. This particular person is in their early 20s, I believe. I said, are you out of your effing mind? I said, it's not a bad strategy. I said, but come on. If you really want to retire early, get that shit into some risky stuff. Let's throw some NVIDIA in there. Let's throw some Apple. Let's throw some Microsoft. Let's throw some Amazon. And by the way, Google is going to 150 at some point in time this year. So if you want to buy it at under 130, have at it. I think 130 is the price point on that one. I mean, look at yesterday's heat map. Let me see. Let me see if I can't. I have this problem with Safari where, okay, there we go. Perfect. 728. Save. And I have to copy. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. There we go. Sherry, I still haven't bought my damn Meta. I've been getting busy. What's Meta trading at? Let's see. I'm going to put in a buy it. $2.99. Yeah, it's at 300. I'm going to put in buy it. I'll wait for the open, but I still haven't gotten my Meta. I should have gotten it at 291. I've just been still got COVID, still housebound. Cleveland Cliffs with a cross up. Let's go to scans. Bum bum bum. NXE. Next Era Energy. Nextera. Levered ETFs. FAZ. That's the financial one. Anybody else get Wells Fargo? Under 40? Low cost Vanguard. Sherry, Ulta, I was, you may not have been on, but I was looking at Ulta. I'm not going to put that one in. I was looking at Ulta. And it's pulled back quite a bit. The algorithm got me out. Huh. Baidu, Baba, Okta. Excuse me. I got all kinds of mouth noises going on today. I'm still stuffed up. It's kind of pissing me off these days. Teledyne I owned. Got out of. Hasn't been horrible. I mean, it's just kind of floating around there. Nothing super exciting. Let's go to the Dow. Dow has been up 12 days in a row. Today would be Taylor Swift 13. Dow Chemical. I don't want a chemicals company. Let's go to NASDAQ 100. I don't blame you for selling Ulta. I probably should have done the same. Lamb Research. Texas Instruments has a cross up. This one's going to wind up down a lot. Had the cross up into earnings. Disappointed. Maybe a good candidate for a buyback. A buy. ABGO Broadcom. I mean, their catalyst is gone. C-Scaler. Not going to include that one. Let's go to S&P. There was one, what was it? Kramer was going over it, actually. It was the IPO of the beauty. Onyx or something. I forget. It's direct to consumer. Kind of like ELF. American Tower and Dow. Nothing that I want. I'll just keep those. Recent beauty IPO. Oddity. That's it. Oh, come on. Why is... He was making a good case for Oddity. Let's look at Oddity. What's Oddity? ODD. I'm going to have to go to a 5-minute on this one. Because it just doesn't have enough candles. But he was making the case, and this is where I think Kramer is... I mean, he's right. He was making the case that if Oddity, let's do a 65-minute. If Oddity had the valuation of ELF, well, I shouldn't say ELF. I think ELF has a, let's see, I think it's a, ELF has a forward PE of 50. So he was making the case that if Oddity, which has better growth than ELF, had the valuation of ELF, it would be an $80 stock. So it doesn't have the valuation of ELF. It's growing faster than ELF. And they haven't issued, they have a lockup period until January. Hey, Mo. Let's see. Is there a... Let's see. Is that the... Ooh, Dish. So it came true. This was the rumor. Through its platform and offer unlimited mobile service to Prime customers for a fixed price of $25 a month. Wow. That's a good one, Mo. Here's the thing. I mean, flat out, mobile service is a race to the bottom. This is why I don't think Verizon. I think you hold on to Verizon for the dividend. I think you hold on to AT&T for the dividend. But long term, it's just not a very good thing. Now, Dish, you know what? I'm going to put Oddity in here. Kramer made a very compelling case based on the of ELF. Okay, let's see. Dish and Amazon partner for wireless service. $25 a month, unlimited. Let's see, did Verizon or anybody fall on the news? Verizon's down 0.2. No, Oddity is a It's a beauty product, direct to consumer. Portfolio includes cosmetic and personal cares. Here, Sherry, I'll send you this. Hold on 1 second. My apologies. They just IPO'd though, Sherry. It's a you know, so it's a gamble because it came onto the market. Its IPO was a different kind of way. You can research it. It wasn't horrible. I think they released about 40% of their stock. They sold about 25% in the pre-IPO deal. So there's a little bit of what's this deal going to mean in January because the IPO was so successful? Do these guys just start selling a bunch of shares, whereas they can't sell shares right now? So it's really just a question of, when you have an IPO, you just don't know what's going to happen. I got my scans in. I got everything that I need here. I keep forgetting to reset. Oh, let me do this. Active Trader Pro. Boom. Meta should be trading more than that. Let's see. I think my Active Trader Pro may have frozen. Sometimes it just needs a push. There's Tesla going back down to the 250s. Let's go to Meta again. Yeah, it's not really moving much. Big head. Boom. Somebody commented yesterday on YouTube, maybe turn the fan off. I have news for you people. I know I'm pretty. But if you are looking at the fan versus looking at the charts, you are here for the wrong reason. I made a very inappropriate comment back. INCY a lot lately. Looking at the reports done on it, it's 50-50. INCY. Let's look at this one. INCY for you. And remember, I'm just a douche on the internet. Insight. I don't even know what they do. I know they've been a retail favorite. If we go to 4 hour, let's look. I like the 4 hour. Is it a falling knife? That chart does not instill confidence in me, Zephan. Let's see. INCY. Insight. Average price target 82. Initiated Citigroup with a buy at 82. Okay. I love when Mickey comes on and I can say, okay. Okay. Healthcare, biotech. Zephan, this is in your wheelhouse, man. Biotech. Selling in January around 84. In February, semi-big, but nothing crazy. It's in the S&P 500. $14 billion market cap. It's 5% above its 52-week low. It does indicate, it's 5% above its low, but it's still got a PE of 44. Down 20% this year. Let's see. Let's see if this tells us anything about insight. Top 5 downgrades. Top 5 initiations. With a buy rating of 82, while Jacoffy patent expiration appears priced into the shares, Opzelura Insight has another potential blockbuster opportunity, contends Citi. Oh, I don't care about fly members. I don't care about your fly members. Earnings expected to decline. So you've got earnings coming up, Zephin. Here's... And Zephin, if you want to take some lunch money and you want to throw it in here, I wouldn't be against it because you're young. I know you personally, you're young enough that you can do that and it won't harm you. I would guide you against anything with a 200-day negative trend, with a kind of flattening out here. It doesn't always mean, especially with biotech, man, it doesn't always mean that it's reached a bottom when you get there. You look at this. The Bollinger Bands are wide open right now. I don't see this one having a huge move. You are on the top of that 9-day, and this is a weekly chart. So your 200-day is kind of flattening out, but it's still negative, still down. 50-day still down. 21-day still down. 9 days, the only one that's really moving sideways. Your MACD is way down there. It's crossing up. I think this one has more than a chart to look at. And it's biotech, man. I just... Fortunes have been won and lost in biotech. And I'm not one to kind of play in that realm. So, interesting that Amazon is down almost 2%. Yeah, well, it is interesting here. What's crazy is, I mean, look at the three most recent, April, May, and July. Those aren't anything like to look at. This guy outperformed his sector perform, only moved it down from 81 to 79. Buy to neutral with an $84 price target. And this one buy with an $82 price target. So either these monkeys don't know anything, which we've proven the monkeys don't know anything, or you got yourself a doubling of the stock. Well, what, 30%? I think I would probably, I mean, is the risk reward worth it in that you're, 26% off your 52-week high of 86. The trend is down. The market's, again, what your grandmother's making for Christmas dinner is priced into the market. So are these guys typically surprising on earnings? Not really. I mean, it does look like, let's look at a 4-hour. Let's go to the 4-hour and check out their earnings reactions. So here's the last earnings, 37 cents. And they went from 74 down to about 65 over a few days. Here's the previous earnings, 62 cents. They went from 84 down to about 77. Upstart. That is one. I actually have it at the top of my thing. Zephin, I would, based on the last two earnings, I'd wait until earnings. I mean, this could be a $40 stock after earnings. Upstart. I have it in my notes. Bradley Freeman, in Q-Tip, if you're asking about Upstart and you're not following Bradley Freeman on, here. Those are my portfolios, my subscription, Stock Market Nerds portfolio. If you're not following him, look at this. It's His number one position is Upstart. His number one position is Upstart. He just sold 22% of his position for a 164% gain. So, I mean, Q-tip, if you're not following this dude, because it's free. First off, it's free. If you're not following that dude, don't ask me. No, I'm not taking profits on PayPal. I'm waiting for PayPal to hit 80. I think I said that I thought it was going to be an $80 stock by the end of the year. The ones that I haven't managed well, I haven't managed Ulta well. I haven't managed Sedge well. Netflix, I have a reason for holding. Ulta, I do have a reason for holding, but I should have taken some profits on Ulta. AMD, that's just a long-term buy. Dollar cost averaging into that one. Palantir, I think that's a $20 stock. So, but yeah. Hold on. Man, I wish I could be as comfortable as my dog's behind me right now. Upstart. Upstart is one that here. Take a look. I mean, here's the thing that you have to know about Upstart. This is a 100% hype play. They're not making money. They're not doing very well. They could come out with earnings on August 7th and say, our AI sucks. We've readjusted it, blah, blah, blah. And you're back down to $15. I don't think it's going back to 400. I think, you're above the 50-day. You got your confirmation. He sold out of it because it became too large of his portfolio just based on the gain. Simple as that. Hey, did anybody get into Boeing under 200 like I did? Because, you're up your 10% now. You're at 222. Jim Cramer is interviewing the Boeing CEO. Oh, no, it's Phil LeBeau. Upstart I like. Upstart's one that I might initiate. The problem is here, I mean, when are you getting into Upstart? At 35? Because if you got in at 35 at the beginning of June, you've almost doubled your money at this point. I just don't know that I'm willing to get into that one when it's not making money, when they just, I mean, it's an AI loan company. And as we get into, if you do have a situation where the Fed has more problems this year, Upstart could be one of those companies that just shits the bed. So, okay, I really should start the podcast. Let's see. Google, Microsoft, evaluation, Snap. Oh, I'm going to take that Amazon. I'm going to take that and put that down next to the SEC's investigation. Oh. Man. My active trader pro blew up again. Hold on, I got to restart that mofo. I have to restart this computer. Man, I wish Fidelity just would build a freaking app for Active Trader Pro rather than having it run on this Windows shit. Bum, 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 bum. How I pay attention to insider buys. Finviz.com. I just literally actually Send notification. Okay. Oh man. Fidelity. They're screwing me, man. They're really screwing me right now. Notifications. Allow notifications. Oh. Immediate. Mofo. Try another way. There we go. Don't ask me again. Wah, wah, wah. Delete. By the way, I got a two-factor notification. How much do insider buys influence your trades? You know, if I see a bunch of people selling, Mo, I'm not buying. If I see a bunch of people buying, I'm probably buying. I mean, you're asking kind of a existential question about how much does it influence? It influences it, but does it make an overall determination? No. It's kind of like, you know, a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, Sherry bought SMMT, and we had found SMMT because here I'll look at it specifically. This dude bought like $5 billion worth. Robert Duger, I think his name is. Yeah, Dugan. Right, that. Look at that. It's like $500 million worth of this stock he bought. He's a billionaire, and he bought $500 million of this company. It basically to float it up there. Now, at that point, that was, let's see, that was March 8th, March 6th, March 7th. So let's go back March 6th, March 7th. Let's look at where the stock was. March 6th, stock was at $1.50. You're at $2 now. That's the kind of thing that probably makes sense to pay attention to. You know, that type of buy. And from FinViz, just take a look. I mean, it's one of the factors that I look at on FinViz. You know, RA Capital Management just bought $40 million of ABOS, Acumen Pharmaceuticals. And look at the spike when they did that. That was July 21st. You know, Michael Hollis bought $11 million. You know, Energy Transfer. That's a great example. This dude at Energy Transfer. Look at all the buys from this dude. Kelsey Warren. This dude's buying hundreds of millions of dollars at 12. Where's the stock now? 13.20? So I think it plays a factor in it. I just don't think that it, you know, if you see a bunch of people buying, you know, for instance here, Cleveland Cliffs. We talked about Cleveland Cliffs. I personally own it. Here's the chairman and CEO, April 27th, buying $100,000 shares at $14.96. 100,000 shares. Dude, this dude doesn't have that much money. That it's not an insignificant buy. That's a significant buy for him. Let's see how much he owns. There you go. Look, he's buying. I mean, he hasn't sold anything. So I look at that $14.98 and I say, you know what? This guy knows what he's doing. He's marking a bottom. Look at his buys in the past. He's doubled his money. He's kind of doing his thing. So it plays a part, but is it going to, make a determination as to if I buy it or not? No. You even look at Oracle. Larry Ellison sold a ton of Oracle. So I think that's a factor of, here, to do $207 million at 118. It's trading at 117. It got all the way up to 127. I think the dude just needed a new yacht. So, yeah. Let me get to SPY. One that I want to look at is SPY. Did I include the link? Let me see. Okay. I'm going to start the podcast now. We've been on for a long enough time. Hit the thumbs up button, by the way, if you're here. If you're new, hit subscribe. I'm here every morning. This is TrendSpider. I use this and I use Active Trader Pro. Let me just go over to Active Trader Pro and move this. I think I'm going to need to probably change this. There we go. Active Trader Pro. I use both of those. TrendSpider is a subscription service. If you want a subscription, down below there's a link. You'll save 25% off if you want it. I get you access to my algorithms, the 4-hour, the 65-minute, my watch lists, everything that you need so that your screen is basically set up the way mine is. But if you're new here, just consider subscribing. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up even if you don't subscribe or if you're already subscribed. But Boeing's up 4%. Google's up 5%. Meta is up at 3%. It's up 3%. That one's going to fly, I have a feeling. Microsoft is down close to 3%. Netflix is down a little bit. Nvidia is up about 1%. Roblox is under 40 again. Snowflake down about 3%. Taiwan Semiconductor back under 100. United Health, 511. Exxon down a little bit. Exxon's earnings are coming out tomorrow, I think. 27th, yeah. Exxon's going to blow it out. It's an energy company, man. They're printing money. You ain't going to see that one fall. Apple's are coming out. Apple's earnings August 3rd. Amazon, I think it's August 2nd is Amazon. No, August 3rd. So, okay, let's start this mofo. Let's get this shit started. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Good morning. It's Wednesday. Hump Day. Wednesday, July 26th. What I'm looking at behind me, my dogs are behind me, sorry. I wish I could be that comfortable with my legs spread out in the air, spread side to side, with a face laying on my stomach. There ain't no way I could sleep like that. But these are things that you learn from dogs. SPY. What more can we say? I think today's going to wind up being down a little bit, but God, the Dow is up 13 days in a row. We talked about it yesterday. The Dow's playing catch up. The two old men ordering soup in a deli are the Dow and IWM. So, where are we with SPY? Do you think we don't have a chance to go up again? Well, here's the thing. The weekly, if you take a look, I'm sorry, we're going to go to the monthly. The weekly is already crossed up, so you can see that MACD is kind of, shooting up. You still have confirmation above there. You're oversold with the RSI at 70. But when you go to the monthly, here's the thing. We still have confirmation, and you're just crossing. The MACD is just crossing that strike line. The RSI is at 60, so it's not overbought yet. So from a monthly perspective, you're still doing pretty well. Now, when we take a look at seasonality of this one, we go back to 1993, and that's 31 years. Look, August is actually one of the better months at 63% win. You get into November, and it's a great month. You get into October, and it's a good month. September, we probably want to sell in August and forget about September. September is just a weak month. But my point on this, and I'll post this in the newsletter, my point on this is, from a monthly perspective, we still have confirmation above that 9-day. The 9-day has just started to turn positive. The 50, the 200, and the 21 are all positive. You got this nice volume shelf here, just above 4,000. So Tom Lee may be right. We may be going to 5,000. I mean, this is just, remember, today, priced in. Fed's meeting, you know what they're going to do? They're going to hike by 0.25%. I mean, it's telegraphed at this point. We know this. So 100%, we know exactly what's going to happen. So SPY, I think you're still in that one. Do you buy into this one? I think buying in new is a little bit extended from an indices standpoint. But remember Bob, the article about Bob, basically investing $100 a month every time the market is, or $1,000 every time the market's at its all-time peak. Still, he retired a millionaire because he continued to put money into the market. Doesn't mean that you stop your 401k. Doesn't mean that you pull everything out in cash. It means you stay in the market even though it's high. It means every 2 weeks, your paycheck, you get your 401k out, and it's auto-funded into a fund, into an S&P tracking fund, into a Russell 2000 tracking fund, into a NASDAQ 100 tracking fund, whatever your company offers. That's the key to building wealth, is the long-term and the consistency that you have to do this. I know that the podcast is called Daily Stock Picks, and I'll give you stock picks. This should be a very small portion of your overall portfolio. I trade with less than 5% of my overall portfolio. The majority of my portfolio is in good companies with good earnings, with good management, with good products. And I just buy on pullbacks. You know what's a perfect example of this? Microsoft. Microsoft earnings were fantastic. They will continue to grow. This is a company that 100% is on the right path. What happened yesterday? Well, the only thing that happened, they were up. And then they were asked, well, when are you going to see the actual revenue from Copilot, which is their AI initiative that goes into their Microsoft Office platform? And they sputtered and they stopped and they said, yeah, we don't know. And then somebody finally said, well, it might be late 2024, which means that they're not ready yet. Well, you know what? In my mind, that kind of puts you into, let's go to Seeking Alpha, because I want to show you what I noticed yesterday. And it's Google announcing their earnings, which was fantastic. And you know what? Google is up, 7% in the pre-market? Microsoft is down 2%. Well, what I want to show you is Google, here, just Google versus Microsoft. I mean, simple as this. Look at update the chart, and let's look at year to date. Google's up 46%. Microsoft is up. Look at the 1 month. Google's up 6%. This includes, I think, today's. They've caught up. So essentially, the market just opened. So yeah, these charts are a little bit skewed. But Google was playing catch up to Microsoft. Here's the other thing that you have to know. When you go to Microsoft on FinViz, their forward PE is 31. What's Google? You know what Google is? 19. Google will be a $150 stock by the end of the year. At some point in time, Google will be a $150 stock. That's quite a ways away from where it's right now. I want you to hold off on buying Google. Today, the price, yesterday, the price was anything under 120. Today, the price is anything under 130. If you want to get into Google, I don't think you're doing it to yourself a disfavor. I think you're running to 150 this year. Here, look, all-time highs around 150 on Google. I think you're heading back there. They're doing everything right. And that's the difference between Microsoft and Google. Microsoft ran up. Microsoft is not a bad company. They didn't do anything wrong. They just don't have the integration done yet. You know what? Who does? Google. Google's got it integrated. So I want you to invest in good companies with good products. If you're somebody who doesn't, you're Warren Buffett and you don't use a computer. I mean, Warren Buffett, I think, still has a flip phone. But the guy's the number one investor in Apple. He doesn't, always do it. But if you're a guy who doesn't use a computer, don't invest in Google. If you're a guy who uses Proton Mail or a woman who uses Proton Mail and doesn't use Gmail, don't get into Google. If you use DuckDuckGo, don't get into Google. I know some guy who use DuckDuckGo. So again, use the things that invest in the things that you're going to use. Now, Microsoft and Google, there was another one yesterday, Snapchat reported earnings. This is a company I've gotten given a bunch of Snap. You know from where? Webull. Webull. If you go to my link tree, liktr.ee/daily stock pick, and you look, the third thing down here is Webull. And you can get 12 free stocks, 12 free shares. I get a bunch of shares. So I do get shares when you guys sign up. They've given me a bunch of Snap. Snap is down $10. I think this is an $8 stock by the end of the end of the month. What are we, July 26th? Probably an $8 stock by the end of the month. I don't want you investing in this one just because it's down. The problem with Snap is their advertising platform. Yes, they have tons of users. Talk to kids. Kids use this every day. Their advertising sucks. And you know where that advertising is going? It's going to Meta. It's going to Google. Google's ads were up. Meta just got you out with a 21% gain right here. I think anything under 300, you're at 298 right now. I think that's a good price. I think anything under 300 is a great price for Meta. You want to know why? Because their valuation is down. You're still 32% off your highs from Meta. And let's go to remember, Google is at 19. Meta's forward PE, 19. So I think you've got 330 in the bag on this one. It's 52-week range. You're 7% below your 52-week high, which is 318. What makes me think that the year of efficiency, is Zuckerberg going to come on to his earnings call and say, we decided the metaverse is coming back. We're putting in $100 billion into the metaverse in the next quarter. No, the dude's going to talk about Llama, their large language model, their AI stuff. You know how many times AI was mentioned between Microsoft and Google yesterday? Just the two CEOs? 145 times. So Meta's going to do the same damn thing. Meta has this run up just like Microsoft did. I mean, they're up 100-something%. I mean, look, if I told you to buy Meta back in November of 2022, just before the new year starts, at $100, you guys would have been laughing at me, saying, what the F are you talking about? Uncle Frank, who wants to talk about January 6th, that's not what I'm logging on to Facebook for. It's over. It's done, Johnny. They were, saying it's over. It ain't over. They have the best ad platform out there. If you are an advertiser, you are advertising on Facebook because of its prime targeting. They target the best. Google targets the best. You know who else targets the best? Amazon. Amazon ads will raise. So, the one that I want you to invest in now is Meta. They report after the bell. Upstart, there was a bunch of questions about Upstart. I like Upstart. The thing you have to know about Upstart is still speculative. Still speculative. They are not making money. Let's go to, where are we going? Let's go over here. Upstart. Upstart is losing $270 million. So they're losing money. They're not making money. But this is one that, back in May, could have bought at 13. You're at 62 right now. 62. One of the people that I follow on Savvy Trader is Brad Freeman. And if you go to Savvy Trader, it's just savvytrader.com, SAVVYTRADER.com. Stock market nerd, Bradley Freeman. I suggest you follow him. This guy just sold his Upstart yesterday reluctantly. He sold his trading desk reluctantly. But his Upstart sale was up 164%. The only reason he sold is because it became such a large portion of his overall portfolio. If you like Upstart, if you like trading desk, if you like that stuff, go follow him. I mean, he's really, really good. I'll include that stuff in my my newsletter. Teamsters and UPS agreed to a deal. Huge. We're not, your Christmas packages are on their way. Don't worry about it. Wells Fargo. How many of you mofos, how many of you degenerates told me I was wrong about Wells Fargo? I'm a boomer, man. You're a boomer. Wells Fargo, you're a boomer. They announced a $30 billion buyback. $30 billion buyback. They announced recently an increase in the dividend. Yeah, you're at $46. The $37 back in May where I was saying, hey, financials have just taken too much of a hit. Yeah, Wells Fargo, 46. I think this is a $50 stock by the end of the year. At some point in time, it's a $50 stock. One that I've talked about before that I actually think I was saying, hey, it's a gamble to buy down here at 39. Great trade if you bought at 39. You've doubled your money. You're at 86. DPST. This is a triple levered regional bank 3 times. I like this ETF. Now I think you're okay buying this one. We heard about PacWest getting bought out by Bank of California yesterday. You can Google that one if you want to. PacWest is way up, like 30%. I like it. I like DPST. I think you can trade this on the 65-minute and feel very comfortable. Because when you look at a weekly of DPST, it's down too much. I mean, that right there along the 50-day, you're at 180 something. I think that's where you're probably going back to. Again, as long as we stay out of the dangerous regional bank stuff. There is a danger that more regional bank stuff starts to break as they start to raise interest rates even more. So just be careful of that one. I still say Schwab is a $65 stock. Let's look at Schwab. Schwab right now, $66. So I think it's $70. I mean, let's look at a long term in this one. Prior to the regional stuff, $80 stock. I think it's going to get back to $80. It's a healthy bank. Google beat earnings, anything under 130. Microsoft beat 2. Microsoft just has run too much. The valuation would say that by Google here long term, Microsoft is priced higher and perfection is priced in. I agree. I think if you're getting into Microsoft for a long term, I think you're fine. I think if you're getting in short term, I think Google would be your play over that one. Snap missed earnings. Their ads revenues suck. Meta is going to be the play. Google and Microsoft Cloud. Amazon may be in trouble. Google and Microsoft yesterday announced slight slowing of the cloud. It just wasn't. It's still growing at tremendous pace, but it's not growing as fast as before. This also may mean that Amazon may be in trouble. The other thing with Dish and Amazon today, and where is the news story? Dish and Amazon, here it is. Dish Networks partners with Amazon to offer wireless service. In fact, I have to post this in the newsletter. I'll copy this and post this over. $25 a month. You know what else is $25 a month and you don't have to wait for? Visible service, which is right here, second one on my link tree. You get $20 off your first month. It's $5 for your first month. So I have this service myself. I won't pay anything more than $25 a month for unlimited service. In fact, if I go, I can get like an 18 gig monthly data plan for like $20 or something if I want to save. But Visible's even good to me. I like Visible. So go and click on that link. But just know if you're an Amazon Prime member, you will be getting probably a shit ton of advertisements for Dish phone service. at $25 a month. I think it's their Boost. I think Boost Mobile is what Dish owns. Let's see. Boeing beat. Boeing is up. Let's see. What's Boeing up? 5%, 226. I've been screaming, get this one under 200 right here at 209. You could have gotten back here in the beginning of June. You were under 200. Back here, I mean, 200 seems to be the swing point. When it gets to 220, sell it. I mean, Boeing's going to have another problem. You know this. Boeing's just not a good company. Coke, I said get Coke under 60. What are you at right now? 62? 63? Yeah, 62.06. That's where you're at right now. Get it under 60. Hold off. They had a great quarter. Great quarter, great dividend, great compounding. Just buy and forget this one. That's what I did. Spot earnings. I will post all of the spot earnings stuff. Here's my thought overview on spot. Overview of spot is users up, both paid and free. Revenues down, costs up. So it's not a demand problem. It's definitely a 100% cost issue. Spot, I don't think that you buy this one on the dip right here. And the reason I don't think that you buy on the dip is just because it's had quite a run up. And if we look at this, it's using that 200-day as resistance at 164. So right now, even though you're at 142, I just don't think that the benefit happens until you get down towards probably about 130 or so. And I think that right here at about 120 to 130, I think anything in the 120 handle, I think you pull the trigger on this one. But understand it is a cost problem, and they haven't been good at holding costs to the line. Now, I talk about this one every now and then, but it's a fantastic example of how a good company can be a bad stock. This is App Harvest. If you're vegetarian, if you're plant-based, you know App Harvest. App Harvest is awesome. They do organic, sustainable food company backed by Martha Stewart. I really like this one. They just announced bankruptcy. If we go back a while, I think it was last year, we were talking about this one for a while in that I really liked this one. And it was around here where it was about $5 or so, and it kept bouncing up, bouncing up. I said the problem is cost here, and they just don't have a way to increase their revenues while decreasing their costs. And that was the issue. They just announced for Chapter 11. APPH is the thing. I am going to basically put two.
What makes a stock a great potential?
This is a trading lab, how to find stocks to day trade. Spoiler, he basically sells you a screening service. Do not get the screening service, but I do think the overall video is a great watch. It basically goes over how low float and high volume is the key to day trading. That's what you want. And I've said this before. I've got this stock. It's, let's see, pre-market movers. I've got it. It's investing.com. If you want to see pre-market movers, if you want to see low float, high volume at currently trading, it's these stocks right here. And this opens up at about 4 a.m. And they do it live so you can see exactly what's moving. Just go to investing.com. But I want you to watch this video because if you're day trading, this is how you day trade. You find a stock with high volume pops and low float. And this video shows you exactly how to do it. The other one that I'm going to include in the newsletter is a video about how to buy and hold forever dividend portfolio. It is an absolute masterclass in how to basically analyze stocks in order to put into a buy and hold portfolio. I repeat, I do not agree with his buy and hold portfolio. I do not. But I do think that this is a great masterclass in how to learn to set it up. So I'm going to include it. Let's talk about earnings today. Meta reports after the bell. Coke already reported. Thermo Fisher was down. Union Pacific way up. UNP was way up. And the reason UNP is up is not because of their earnings. It's because they're basically getting an entire new suite of C-suite. Look at that gap. I mean, you went from 217 up to 240. And it's not earnings. The earnings were fine. But, new management, that sparks crazy moves in the stock. Boeing, way up. ServiceNow reports after the bell. AT&T reported. ADP reported. I'll include all the reports so you can go and check the stock out on their own. Now, I was listening to Jim Cramer last night. Yes, every now and then I do have Jim Cramer on. And he was talking about this stock that just IPO'd, Oddity, ODD. It's an over-the-counter, direct-to-consumer, I should say, beauty brand. And overview. And I'll see if I can find the video. I'll link it in the newsletter. But overview, he was going over if Oddity had the valuation that ELF, and you guys know if you've tuned in, I bought Ulta, Sherry bought ELF. ELF is greatly outpacing Ulta. ELF is a beauty brand that just has exploded. If Oddity had the valuation, this is an $80 stock. It's trading at $50 today. It's an IPO, traded on the 65-minute. I think you'll do fine on the 65-minute. Right now, it has you out of it, but I think it's going to get you back in. I think $50 is the swing on this one. Don't throw all your money into this thinking, oh my God, I'm going to YOLO. This is like if you have $5,000, throw $50 at this. It's not going to make you poor, but that $50 could absolutely turn into $100 overnight. And it's not overnight. It's not going to do that overnight, but over the next couple of months, it could. I like this one. And Cramer did convince me. Whatever you think of Cramer, I think inverse always works. I think whatever he likes does seem to go down. But overall, when he does a very detailed look at a stock, the man knows what he's talking about. I just put this little disclaimer on this. He's a guy. He's an old dude. And he's talking about cosmetics. That's my problem with Jim Cramer, is that he may not know something that you do. So check it out. Cleveland Cliffs, they reported yesterday. I hold this one at about a $17 average buy-in. It got you in yesterday, $17.84. We're talking about scans right now, by the way. This is the scan. $17.33. Right now it's trading. I think you get in. I think there's a $20 stock by the end of the year. Nextera Energy, NXE. Next Gen Energy. This one, secondary cross-up. It's just kind of been sitting there. 474, it got you in. It's trading at 473 today. So their earnings are coming up August 3rd. Another one that is a triple levered ETF. It's a bear on the financials. It crossed up here. Now remember, this one would indicate the financials are going to go down and this stock would go up. It's a bear 3 times levered. 1648. This has not been a very good stock of late because the financials have been going up. But have they gone up too fast, too far? 1648 might indicate that. Here's the way the algorithm works. If you bought this ETF 2 years ago, 24 months, you'd lose 40%. If you listen to the algorithm, you'd make 16%. So listening to the algorithm on that one actually makes sense. Baidu, we talked about China yesterday. China's going to basically put money into their economy. That's going to be a crazy, crazy good stimulus. Baidu, BIDU, 148.63. You're trading at 150. Now, if we go back long term on this one, you can see you're just kind of hugging that 200-day. Nothing huge. I think when you get under the 200-day on this one, think you can trade over the 200-day. But I like that one. I like that one there a lot. Another China company, Baba. I think Baba's going to 120. I think at some point in time this year, Baba hits 120. I think you have some downside here going back to the 200-day. I think anywhere between 91 and 96, I think you can ride this to 100. I think maybe you get to just over 100. If you get to 100, I would say pull the trigger and maybe pull some off. I just don't trust the Chinese companies. Finally, for the scan up, Okta. Okta's got this big gap up here. 71.45 is the buy. You got this enormous gap from the earnings back here in May. You don't have a catalyst, but Okta, several times it's had this buy. You thought it was going to cover it. Didn't cover it. Came down. You thought this one, nice little run here. 0.72% got you out. You could have gotten out right up here. This one with the buy at 71.45 could be the one that takes it up. Okta is not making money. I think let's take a look. Let's look at some of their financials. But I saw that gap on it. I said, I like this. They're losing $691 million. They have cash on hand, $14.65. They have 161 million shares. What's 14 times 161 million? Let's see.
The answer is 2,254,000,000.
Yeah, they got about 2-3 years of cash on hand. So they're not going to need to dilute you. The average share price target price is 93. The most recent was June, a downgrade from JP Morgan to 85, a downgrade from BMO to 85. So it's 85 and you're trading at 70. So I do think that Okta has a chance to get back up there. I like this one. Now, a couple that I've been looking at, Roblox, under 40. I think you get this one under 40. I think it goes back over 40 if you want to trade that one. Uber at 47. Their earnings are coming up quick. I like to get this one before their earnings on July 31st. I don't know that I'm going to have the chance to. I think it's a $50 stock at the end of earnings. Shopify. Talked about Shopify. Their earnings are coming up August 2nd. I like this one. I think it's a $70 stock. When their earnings come out, I think they're going to do really well. The issue that I have is you're coming down and you've got a gap down here between 48 and 54. If they haven't gotten their costs under control, that's where the issue comes in. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. NVIDIA, Netflix. Netflix is down under 420. I will add more to this one. I have a conviction in this one. It's a long-term buy. I've only bought in 3 out of the 10 lots that I want in this one. But I do think that it may hit this gap now at 409. I'm waiting for confirmation. I bought two lots, one at 435 and one at, I think, 431. So I've got a couple of lots in there. It's down. Doesn't feel well. But you know what? I think at some point in time, it starts to go up. Their revenue was the problem. The revenue's coming in Q3. Essentially, it's as big as that. The writers and the director strike, probably not a huge issue. But if they do have to pay more to produce content here in this country, that's where they'll get hurt. So, yeah. Okay. Remember Linktree, LINK, where is it? There it is. Linktree has everything. Facebook right there, Twitter, Instagram. You can choose anything. TrendSpider, this is the link to get 25% off TrendSpider. Those are the charts that I showed you. Visible, $20 off your first month of service. If you don't have Webull, and I'll tell you this, I love Webull. And I know I post this a lot. I do love Webull. I use both. Fidelity is my main account. That's my main brokerage. That's where I have a large amount of my stuff. But I put $1,000 into Webull at the beginning of the year. And let's see. How much do I have now? We'll do a little check. $1,415. $1,415. So I'm up 40%. 40% for the year. Not bad. I do like, there's 2 things that I like in Webull. The app and the desktop software. We'll include that both in one. If you don't have a charting program and you don't want to subscribe to TrendSpider, get Webull. Don't use Robinhood. I saw some dude doing a technical analysis on his phone on Robinhood yesterday on YouTube. You don't do technical analysis with Robinhood. You get the Webull app. It's free. You don't even need to have an account to get the Webull app. But get Webull. Just deposit like $100 into Webull. Use this link that I have on my link tree, and you'll get 12 free stocks. Get free stocks. Go over to Webull. But I really do like it. The second thing that I really like about Webull is they provide me a great morning update. I really like their morning news section. Just scrolling through it and looking through it. It's a retail trader's dream. And if you're into trading, day trading, and looking at options and things of that sort, get it. It's very, very useful. I do not like Robinhood, and I absolutely do not steer people towards Robinhood. Robinhood is a great integration of the app, but the actual services they provide are horrible. Try and take your money out of Robinhood. I have taken my money out of Webull. Super simple, very easy. Don't get a $70 fee to put my money out. But Robinhood, yeah, try and pull your money out of there. So, okay, I am done. I will be back on tomorrow. Remember, my big pick today is Meta. I like Meta under 300. Okay, take care. Boom, 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 boom. VRO joining the Army. That's awesome. VRO, my dad was in the Air Force. He joined the Air Force when he was early 17, I think. They will give you by far the best structure. I like the Army. I like the armed forces. What I don't like is actually I don't think that they do a very good job of taking care of your mental health when you're put in situations that are difficult. I have a bunch of friends who fought in the Iraq War and came back all kinds of messed up. And I don't think that they took care of them very well. But let's hope that that doesn't happen. Yeah. VRO, it'll do well for you. Yeah. I like Uber WW. Sedge is, I haven't played Sedge right. I still think it's a $300 stock. And you can see that line right there. It made its move up there to about 288. Right now, the algorithm has you out. And, Michael, I would say stay out of it for now. I may add to my position because I want it to be a long-term position where it gets up over 300 and I finally sell out of it. If it's short-term, great, but I think 300 is still Sedge's, here, take a look. It's not like we haven't been down here before. You're just at the 200 day on a long-term. You haven't been, if you get under the 200 day, then you absolutely load into it on a long-term. But it's not like we haven't been down here before. I'm not extremely worried, but solar just hasn't done really, really well. You could get down to about 240 and break that just like you did back here in October with the lows where you got down to 193, and I still think you get a pop. VRO, if you need me, I'm in. Culinary's tough, man. Yeah, Michael, in my mind, again, I don't lose sleep over it because I do think it's going to 300. If it goes to 200, I haven't put life-changing money into it, so I'm not completely worried about it. It's an expensive stock. I mean, make no mistake about it. That PE at 73 and the forward PE at 19, they're going to need to come out with some pretty good earnings here. It's coming out, July 31st. They're going to need to come out with some pretty good stuff. So, the average price target is 355. The most recent upgrade Deutsche Bank, 375. So, what's in the cards, understanding chip business and solar. Yeah, I think you're fine. I think I may buy more. I'm just, again, I share my, this is why the number one rule of this podcast is don't listen to a douche on the internet. Is because if you're missing sleep on something that I said to do, you ain't playing the game right. If you're a guy who says, well, Jim Cramer got me into that and I'm going to blame him. No, you're the one that pulled the buy trigger. Sometimes I take risks that other people shouldn't. Now, I should say, let's see, what's Meta trading at? 299.90. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on this. Let me move you over to Active Trader Pro. I just have a feeling that Meta is going to be good. Yeah, let's get in on this. Sherry, I'll get to your PayPal. I'm just going to buy Meta here. I'm not going to worry about Disney will be fine when they get rid of, let's say, we're going to buy it in this one, and we're going to buy, okay. Now, of course, Meta is going to fly up to like 506, 507, or 308, 309. Let's see, where are we? We're at 390. Let's just... take the dogs out at some point too. Okay. I am basically not buying Meta at under 300 because I just want to get it in right now. That's what he said. But I'm not going to chase it. There we go. I think it just filled. Yup. Filled at $300.50. So let's go into Savvy Trader. And we will do this. And we'll do Meta. And we will... How do I buy here? Ugh. Let's see. Buy Meta 15. There we go. And And it's back under 300. I think it was $15 where I bought it. $15 difference between the price that I put in at $299.95, which it came back to, and $300.50 because I only bought 15 shares. So, but we bought that. Disney's not a terrible stock, and it's not because of their politics. VRO. I think the right wants to think of Disney as this woke organization. Disney wants to be inclusive. I can't say that that's a bad thing. I mean, what do you want to be? People that, don't include others? I think Chapek handled it wrong. I think he was doing the right thing by way of his employees. And I say that with people who were inside Disney at that time. There was a very vocal group of employees, and not a minority. It was a majority around Chapek that were very vocal about that bill. And he said, hey, we don't agree with it. It's the right of an organization to do. I mean, again, organizations Citizens United said they can donate to political campaigns. So telling a corporation that they shouldn't become political, well, then you shouldn't accept money from organizations. In my mind, does Governor DeSantis accept money from organizations? Yeah, he does. They do. I think DeSantis is going to lose. I think he's making his platform based on Disney and other political agendas that just have nothing to do with. I think he's flat out wrong. Flat out wrong. But I don't think that Disney. I think Disney's a bad stock because of their debt. I think they've gotten wrapped up into this thing. I think it's taken them down. But I don't think they're a bad organization because of their political views. I just think, listen, what's his name? The new CEO, Iger. What does Iger do? He comes on and says, yeah, actors, you're going to have to live with it. And he wants to bust that union. Now, I will say, I don't think that actors union is very smart. I think this is a fight that should have happened in 2016, 2017. I think the actors union is basically just making a hubbub. You pay your mechanic. Hold on one second. You want to go downstairs? You want to go down there? Okay, you can go sit in the sun. I'll let you go in the sun. I'm going back upstairs. You can go in the sun. I'm going to finish this up. Sorry. I was going off. Let me give this a name. Why do I do that? I have such ADD. And let's go over. Thoughts on PayPal? I still gotta get Sherry her PayPal stuff. I'm still holding PayPal, Sherry. Just, I think it's an $80 stock by the end of the year. Okay, let me go to my notes. I'm gonna pull this up. Ooh, I got to pull a lot of that out. Now, no, next, insert ad break, 1, insert ad break, okay, done, publish. Now let's go over to, let me bring you over to PayPal. And then I'm going to head out of here because I'm going to do I got a lot of stuff to do. Here's PayPal. Remember how I said it was going to cover that gap? It's covered it. I mean, do I think it's turning over? I think so. Their earnings are coming up on August 2nd. I can't imagine these guys announce bad earnings. And I see this gap up here. This is why I think it's an $85 stock. Look at the next gap. So at this point, after earnings, my plan is probably to just buy more. Oh, and Meta took a dump. Of course I buy it at the high during the day. Yep, I bought it at the high during the day. Close to it. Okay. And with that, I am gonna head out. It's 10 o'clock. I've been on here for a while. So, okay. I will see you guys later tomorrow. Quit, save. I got some text to respond to. I'm off. See you guys. Remember, hit the like button, subscribe, do whatever you need to do. Take care, you guys. I'm out.